Hello and welcome to the lesson on analyzing or working with your survey data that you've collected. So you've got your raw survey data that you've collected from various sources from throughout the school. And what you want to do now is analyze the data. So the easiest or the most simple way I think to do that is to open any spreadsheet program. So you can use Excel, Quattro Pro, OpenOffice, or even Google Docs. All of them work, doesn't matter which one you pick. And what you're going to do is we're going to set this up, and you don't want to copy this exact. I'm going to delete a couple things here in a second, but across the top, you are going to put in the question, the questions themselves, or the possible answers to the questions. So across here, and this is what you don't want to copy. I'm going to, well, I'll just pick a middle one here for a second. These are your survey questions across the top. I'm going to delete that line when I finish off here. I just want you to kind of have a visual here. And in the first column, I'm going to put basically participant. Now, to do it wisely, just number your participants. If you had 50 surveys, you're just going to put in up to 50. And what it does is it just distinguishes. So what I would recommend on your surveys is number them, because if you put an entry error in somewhere, you can go back to that particular survey. So I would number them to match up with the numbering here. So you put your participant across the bottom here, or across down the side here, and that would go up to however many surveys you handed out. So A column, you put the number of surveys. Across the top, each of these particular columns will represent a question on your test or your survey, and it may represent several questions or several answers, and we'll talk about the different types that exist. So for example, most of you likely put gender. The next one may be grade, for example. Some of you might have put age. So those headings are fairly straightforward. If you had a multiple choice question, you might just want to put the question in. So which movie did you prefer? And you can just type it in. A shortened version of that particular question. But you can virtually type in the question itself. It will carry through. So which movie did you prefer? And that's going to be choices A through D, for example. So that's a multiple choice. If you had a scaling question, for example, you're you measured something against a scale. So how smart are you? And you can put in brackets 1 to 5. All right, then you can put the numeric answer. The one you have to be careful on is the ranking question. So anything that you had them rank from least to most favorite. So for example, if we go least favorite to most favorite Toronto sports team. So you could put, in this case, you would have to put all 4 answers because each answer is being assigned a particular mark. So you'd have to go Leafs, Jays, Argos, and I don't know the Toronto team, MLS will say. They're the soccer team. So when you have something that each particular answer is receiving a specific grade, then it's important that you indicate all 4 answers in the spreadsheet. Okay, so once you've gone through a survey and you have got your titles all finished, your questions all set up, and I'll gladly take a look at your headings or help you with that before you do the entry. We can go through your survey and talk about what needs to go across the top here. Now you just go through each particular survey and you're working across. It is a bit of a headache, but that's just the way the program needs to be set up to move to the program we want. So you just have to put in for gender, keep it simple, just go M, your age, whatever age this person, grade, let's say grade 12, age 18. What movie did you prefer? Movie A. Because when you do your write-up, if you're going to use the graphs, you can put a legend with the graph, and we'll talk about that when you're trying to clean that up. How smart are you? Go with a 4. Don't like the Leafs. Jays are number 1. Argos 2. Soccer 3. And you just continue filling it out. So then you turn over to survey 2. Female, grade 9. Go with 14. I preferred movie C. I am smarter than everyone. The Leafs, there's an oxymoron, smart, but cheers for the Leafs. 1. Jays will go 4 for argument's sake, and then 2, 3. All right, so you just continue entering that information until you have all 50 surveys in. So this is the most time consuming, but if you set it up properly, if you number your surveys so you don't have to do it all at one shot, you can take a break in between, and you get the questions across the top set up right, then the entry becomes fairly quick once you go through. What you then need to do, and this is the next stage, and you're going to have to do this particular stage in class or at school. I will be providing opportunities to have laptops and stuff, or access to computers anyway. But you got to do the next step, because I'm going to teach you a program called Fathom. It's available on the school network, and it's pretty handy, and you'll see why here. So once you have your spreadsheet, you'll save it. All right, but what you want to do is you want to save it somewhere safe, so you have it saved. So I'll just save it. I already have it saved as the file I want, but I'll save it to whatever. Now, here's the key. Your next step is to hit Save As. So you save it on your network space, on your personal disk space, on your Google Drive, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what program you are. Next, you go back, and now you go to Save As. All right, so you hit the Save As button. We want to save it as text CSV or .csv, and what that is it's just a text comma format, so that it separates the information and will allow other programs to bring it in. So if you can find in every program, I've had people use the Google Docs, the OpenOffice, even Quattro Pro will do this. You save it as a text CSV or a .csv, and you hit save in wherever location you want. Mine exists already here, so I'm going to hit yes. So now I have the data set up. Now, the one thing I should have done before, I need to delete this line. I had those headings in there just as a reminder for you, but we don't want those titles in there, so I got to save that again. All right, so first row in your spreadsheet will have your question answers, or your questions set up, and your first column will have whatever participant or survey number. So I saved that. So once I get to school then with this file, I'm going to close this program. I don't need it any longer. What you're going to find in either your Novell package, or if you look for Fathom, you will find it. Can't find it in the alphabet. Fathom 2. So you click on it, and you want to open up Fathom. And you have to actually click, because this screen doesn't go away until you click. So here we are in a program called Fathom. So inside Fathom, it allows you to do a whole bunch of neat data analysis, and it does it very, very efficiently, very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the file that I just saved, but I can't use open. I have to import. Okay, so again, that's File, Import, Import from File. And what I do is I go and find where I stored it. So I put that on the desktop here. So I am going to click on it, and there it is in this little box. So all the data is in this box. So if you click this box, you can see that all the data is organized. I'll just make it a little bit bigger so you can see. So you can see that I have up here, this is survey person number 1, 2, 3, and all the data that I entered. It's got the gender, grade, age, etc., etc. So all that information there is provided. And I don't know why the last one doesn't seem to work. If you double click, you can change the name. So sometimes that last one, it doesn't import it properly. I'm not sure on the why, just a quirk to the program. Okay. So that allows us now to enter all the data. So all your 50 surveys are entered into this program. It's quicker to do it in spreadsheet and import it than it is to work in this program, just because it doesn't seem to, the arrows and tabs, it's a little bit more challenging doing it this way. It's a lot easier when you can see the whole spreadsheet in front of you. Okay, so that's the first part of this lesson. That's how to get your data into Fathom. The next video talks about how Fathom works, or what we use Fathom, or how you can use it. And I'm going to just show you some of the basic functions. There are a whole lot more functions. It really depends on what you want to do. Okay, so we'll talk about that in the next video.